structure. Last time we have studied the relation between interplanar spacing, lattice constant and Miller indices of the crystal plane. And this relation is given by, we have derived this relation, and it is D is equal to A upon root h square plus k square plus L square. D is the interplanar spacing, that is distance between two successive planes of a family of crystal plane. A is the lattice constant, that is in case of cubic crystal it is the age of unit cell. H, K, L are the Miller indices of the crystal plane. Then these three parameters are related to each other by this relation. D is equal to A upon root h square plus k square plus L square. Now let us see the interplanar spacing in a cubic crystal lattice. This relation holds for SCC only, simple cubic crystal. And with respect to the different arrangement of the atoms in face centered and body centered, this interplanar spacing is changed according to the planes. Planes in SCC, FCC and BCC are different. We have studied the three principal planes, that is 100, 111 and 110. In case of SCC, for 100, D is A upon 1, that is the A only, where H is 1, K is 0 and L is 0. So D100 is A. Last time I have shown you with the model how the additional planes are inserted in FCC and BCC. In case of 100, plane is added in both SCC and FCC, and so if we summarize this interplanar spacing for these three principal planes D100, D110 and D111. Am I audible to you? Yes? Okay. Okay. I have summarized here the interplanar spacing in cubic crystal lattice in these three set of planes 100, 110 and 111. Okay. So D is the interplanar spacing and these are the types of cubic crystal lattice SCC, FCC and BCC. वैशाली मावशी आवाज जातोय तुमचा SCC, FCC and BCC. Okay. So from our formula D is equal to A upon root h square plus k square plus L square. For D100, this for SCC D will come A. Then for D110, by the same formula, for SCC this D will come A upon root 2. For D111 plane, for SCC, by the same formula, D will come A upon root 3. You can understand this. Then, according to the different atoms in FCC and SCC, the additional planes are added in that respective set, where in 100 plane, additional plane is added in between the two planes of SCC, and so this interplanar spacing A becomes half in FCC and BCC, that is A by 2, A by 2. Last time I have shown in the with model, there is a plane in between the two planes of SCC in case of FCC and in BCC. It passed through the face-centered atoms of FCC and body-centered atom of the BCC. Now, in case of 110 plane, here in FCC, this 110 plane remains same as that of SCC, and so there is no change in the interplanar spacing, which remains same as that of SCC in BCC, that is A upon root 2, A upon root 2. But in case of FCC, there is additional plane in between the two successive planes of SCC in case of 110, which pass to the face-centered atoms of the unit cell, and so distance between two successive planes, that is the interplanar spacing, becomes half of the SCC, and so it will come A upon 2 root 2. Then third set of plane 1 1 1. In 1 1 1 in SCC, D is A upon root 3. In FCC, the same planes are there, that of SCC. So this distance interplanar spacing remains same. There is no change. A upon root 3, A upon root 3. But in BCC, the one additional plane is inserted in between the set of plane 1 1 1 in BCC, which pass through the body centered atom. And so this interplanar spacing becomes half of the SCC in BCC, that is A upon 2 root 3. Okay. Now, after this, this is very important, this table. You have to remember that. What is the interplanar spacing in a set of principal planes for SCC, FCC and BCC. Okay, so you should remember this. This one for SCC, you can calculate this by the formula which we have derived, that is D is equal to A upon root H square plus K square plus L square. And then according to the planes inserted in FCC and BCC, these distances will change. In 100, plane is added in FCC as well as BCC, so it becomes half. In 110, plane is added only in FCC, so only this one becomes half, BCC remains same. In 111, plane is added only in BCC, so FCC remains same and BCC becomes half. So you should remember this interplanar distances for these principal planes 100, 110 and 111 in SCC, FCC and BCC. According to that, we can determine the type of crystal structure. Okay. So next one, we will study the very important law, which is known as a Bragg's law. This law states that X-rays reflected from different parallel planes of crystal interfere constructively when path difference is integral multiple of wavelength of X-rays. Okay. Now, first of all, we should know that X-rays are used to study the crystal structure. Okay, not ordinary light. Ordinary light cannot use to study the crystal structure. Okay, when X-rays are incident on the crystal, then they get reflected or diffracted from the crystal atom. Okay, and so that we can study or we get the image of the crystalline solid. Okay. Then why only X-rays are used to study the crystal structure? Why not ordinary light? Because for the diffraction of any waves, the dimensions of diffracting obstacle, they should be in compare with the incident wavelength. And we know that crystal atoms are very small. So that is in the range of few angstrom only. So to study the crystal structure or by the phenomena of light like interference and diffraction, we should have the waves having that much small dimensions, and that is not satisfied by the ordinary light. Ordinary light wavelength, you know, that is 4000 angstrom to 7000 angstrom, and crystal dimensions are of very small one, that is about few angstrom only. 2 angstrom, yeah, 3 angstrom. Okay, and so ordinary light cannot use to study the crystal structure. But X-rays are the waves of very short wavelength, and so when these X-rays are incident on the crystalline solid, they are diffracted or reflected from the crystal. See this diagram here. In the diagram shown the crystal planes. Suppose this is one set of crystal plane. You can see here these black dots. These are nothing but the crystal atoms. Okay. Here, suppose this is the set of crystal plane for which the interplanar spacing, that is distance between successive plane, is d, small d. That is the interplanar spacing. Okay. We have considered here that the ray X-ray PA is incident on the first plane at point A, and QC is incident on second point at point C. And we can see that it gets reflect along AR, first one, and second one is along CS. Okay. Now here, as per the law of reflection and refraction, okay, when the any waves are goes from one medium to other medium, there should be change in their path, but here you can see that there is no change in a path of X-rays while they came from air to the crystalline solid. This is the crystal. They just came in a straight line only, but according to the law of reflection and refraction, there should be change in their path. But here X-rays we can see they came in a straight path as it is and insert within the crystal. And just we see they are reflect from the crystal atom. And this is because the refractive index of crystal for X-ray is 1. Now refractive index 1 means what? Means there will be no change in the there will be no change in the velocity of X-rays in air as well as in a crystalline solid. Why it is so? Because crystal X-rays having the penetrating power. We know that they can penetrate few thin sheets. And so here within crystal, when X-rays came from air to the crystalline solid, there is no change in their path, and we can see that they just incident on the crystal atoms and reflect from these atoms. So this is nothing just the reflection. Okay. Now here Bragg's law is nothing but the condition of maximum diffraction or maximum reflection. Okay. So for getting that condition, we have to calculate path difference between these two reflected planes, reflected X-rays. These two X-rays are reflected from the successive planes. Similarly, we can take the X-rays from the planes reflected from second plane and third plane and fourth plane. That is the successive planes. Okay, first and second, second and third, third and fourth. There are not only these three planes, but the large number of planes are there within the whole crystal. Okay, so this is the one set of plane. Okay, so when X-rays will incident on the crystal, then they will reflect from these planes. Planes means actually atoms. Planes are nothing but passing through the crystal atoms. Okay, and so for getting the condition of maximum diffraction, we will calculate the path difference between the two reflected rays from successive planes. Successive planes may be first and second, second and third, third and fourth, and so on. Okay, so path difference between, let us here, path difference between the reflected ray AR from the first plane and reflected ray CS from the second plane. Okay, so this path difference, say, the X-rays, these two rays coming parallel to each other. If we draw perpendicular from point A on the second ray at B, it will come here. Similarly, perpendicular from A on the ray reflected from second plane at point D. Okay, then up to point A and B, these two incoming X-rays towards the crystal follow the same path because they are parallel. Also, the reflected rays from A and D after A and D, they are parallel to each other, so they will follow the same path. Then where is the difference? Difference is after A, B and before AD. Okay, then see from A, if this ray, first ray goes towards AR, but second ray from B up to A and B same distance. They will follow the same path, but after B, it follow the path B, C, D, and then these two will follow the same path. Means this second ray, it follow the more path than that of the first one, and that more path is what? How much? BC plus CD. You can understand that is so easy. Okay. So BC plus CD is nothing but path difference between these two reflected rays from successive planes of a crystal set. This is very important sentence. Sorry, P and yes, different X-rays, but number of rays will be there, na? Large number of X-rays will be there. So out of that, for our understanding, we have considered these two rays, na? Large number of planes are there, like large number of rays are there, like a ordinary light. Okay. When light is emitted from the source, there is not a single ray. Large number of rays are there. Okay. So out of that, for our understanding, we have considered these two X-rays incident on first and second ray respectively. So they will reflect along AR and CS. Okay. Then we have to find out path difference between these two reflected rays from the successive planes. Okay. And this is from geometry of diagram. It is BC plus CD. Now by geometry, here let us consider these X-rays are incident on the crystal plane with an angle theta. And this angle theta is known as a glancing angle. See this theta is a glancing angle. You will remember this. Okay, glancing angle means what? There may be in an objective question. Glancing angle is the angle which is made by incident X-rays with crystal plane. Remember that. This is not the angle of diffraction, but theta is the known as glancing angle, and it is angle made by incident X-rays with crystal plane. That is the glancing angle. The second ray is also parallel to the first one, so it is also incident with the same angle. Okay, and by geometry of diagram, the angle BAC and DAC, it will same and it is theta. Okay, at B, here we have drawn AB is the perpendicular on the second ray. Similarly, AD is perpendicular on the this CS. Okay, reflected ray. So ABC and T, sorry, ABC and ADC. These two are the right angle triangles. Right angle is at B and right angle is at D. Okay. And so by geometry of diagram, we can write BC and CD. See, from the first triangle ABC. What will be BC? By trigonometry, BC will be, BC क्या होगा? क्या होगा BC? ये right angle triangle है ABC, and this angle at A is theta. So BC is nothing but the front side. Okay,
or
hypothesis
sin
is the
theta.
A, so it is AC sin theta. Got it? AC sin theta ना, ये BC जो है वो AC sin theta होगा, या sin theta you can write. Sin theta क्या होगा? Sin theta will be BC upon AC. So BC is equal to AC sin theta. Similarly, CD from triangle ADC, this will be again AC sin theta. From this triangle, sin theta will be CD upon AC. So CD is equal to AC sin theta. And AC क्या है? AC is the distance between two successive plates, and we have assumed that is the small d. Okay. So BC will become AC sin theta, that is the, see here, path difference between AR and CS is given by BC plus CD. This one is BC and this is CD. And that is BC and CD are same, that is d sin theta plus d sin theta. So addition of these two will become 2d sin theta. And for constructive interference or constructive diffraction, diffraction is nothing but the mutual interference. So the same conditions of interference are followed by the diffraction. So for maxima, this path difference must be the integral multiple of whole wavelength. Okay, so if n is the integer and lambda is the wavelength of X-rays, then for constructive interference, yeah, reinforcement, this path difference must be n lambda, and this condition is known as a Bragg's law. Okay, so mathematically Bragg's law is given by this equation, 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda. Okay, where lambda is the wavelength of X-rays, theta is the glancing angle, n is the order of diffraction. Okay, and theoretically, this law states that X-rays reflected from different parallel planes of a crystal interfere constructively when path difference is integral multiple of wavelength of X-rays, and that only we have written here, that is path difference is 2d sin theta and is equal to n lambda. That is the condition of maxima. And for that, we have considered that is the same thing, set of parallel lattice planes of crystal separated by spacing d. If the question in your exam is there, state the Bragg's law and derive it. So this much you have to write. First of all, write the law, Bragg's law. That is, X-rays reflected from different parallel planes of crystal interfere constructively when path difference is integral multiple of wavelength of X-rays. And To prove that, consider set of parallel lattice planes of a crystal separated by spacing d between adjacent planes. That is shown in this diagram. This is the parallel set of planes of a set which are separated by distance d, and then X-rays of wavelength lambda are incident on crystal as QC and PA. We have considered just the two rays reflected along AR and CS. Okay, yeah, you may write they are incident on the first and second plane respectively, and then reflected along AR and CS respectively. Then path difference between these two reflected rays from the successive planes is given by PC plus CD by geometry of diagram, where theta is the glancing angle. You should mention this. Theta is the glancing angle. Rays are incident on the crystal plane with an angle theta. Rays are incident on crystal plane with an angle theta. So theta is not the incident angle, yeah, reflection angle, yeah, diffraction angle of diffraction, but it is the angle with which X-rays are incident on the crystal plane. That is angle made by incident X-rays with crystal plane. Okay. Then by geometry of diagram, we have drawn perpendiculars from A on at B and D. So path difference between the two rays is BC plus CD, and it is given by d sin theta plus d sin theta, that is 2d sin theta. For maxima it should be n lambda, and this is nothing but Bragg's law. Okay, any doubt? Is it clear to you? Yes. Okay. Okay, now this law is very important. Whenever in your higher study also you will use this law, Bragg's law. So this statement you have to remember. And what this law, what is actually d, what is theta, what is lambda, you should have the clear idea about that. Okay. I think some students are in waiting, na? Want to admit? You can see. आप देख रहे हैं क्या? आपको दिखाई देते हैं? No, nahi na? Okay. I am getting just the noise. Okay. Let us continue. Okay. So this Bragg's law is very important for study the crystal structure. Okay. Known as the Bragg's law. Okay. Now, using the Bragg's law, there is very important device by which the crystalline solids can be studied. That is the basic one only. Okay. And that is the Bragg's X-ray spectrometer. Okay, see, this is the Bragg's X-ray spectrometer. See the construction in the diagram. You see this arm. Okay, at the center there is a table. This is the central table, and this table is surrounded by this arm. Okay, here the surrounding table's arm, it contains the gas, and it is known as a ionization chamber. Okay, it is known as ionization chamber. This is the ionization chamber. This one, it is filled with a gas, and here the two electrodes are there, and in between the two electrodes the galvanometer is connected. Okay, now what is the function of galvanometer? You have been known. You have studied the galvanometer. It shows the flow of current. Yes, correct. It detects the flow of current. So this galvanometer is connected in between these two electrodes, which are inserted into the gas. That gas is filled into this chamber. Okay. Now at the center, the C is denoted. This C is the crystal. The crystal which has to be studied is mounted on this central table. It is denoted by C. Okay. Then this central table and this arm, this gas chamber arm, these two are connected to each other, so that when turntable is rotated through an angle theta, then ionization chamber is rotated थ्रू एन एंगल 2 थीटा डबल. सपोज टर्न टेबल हम थीटा से रोटेट करेंगे. टर्न टेबल के ऊपर क्रिस्टल माउंट किया है. ओके. So turntable is rotated through an angle theta. Simultaneously, this ionization chamber arm, it will rotate through an angle 2 theta. Okay, and so that, see here, these X-rays are from X-ray tube. They are incident. First of all, these X-rays are allowed to pass through the two slits, S1 and S2. These are the two slits. Okay. So X-rays are first allowed to pass through the two pinhole slits for getting the narrow beam of X-rays. The purpose of allowing these X-rays to pass first of all through the slits for getting the narrow beam of the X-rays. Okay. And this narrow beam of X-ray is allowed to incident on the crystal, which is mounted on the turntable of this spectrometer. This assembly is known as a spectrometer. And what it consists? It consists the central turntable and it is connected to the movable arms around it, which is filled with the gas. Okay, and in this arm, this ionization chamber, in between the two electrodes are inserted and they are connected to the galvanometer. Okay, now when X-rays are incident on the crystal, okay, as per the Bragg's law, they will get reflect from the crystal and these reflected X-rays are pass. First of all, they are allowed to pass through the two slits S1 and S2, just getting the concentrating. Okay, and then these are into the chamber only. Okay, then these reflected X-rays are goes into the gas, and we know that these X-rays having the which property? X-rays, when X-rays pass through the gas, what happens? क्या होता है? No, before current. Why current is there? Current flow होगा, okay, correct. But why current will be there? For current, what is required? Positive and negative ions should be there, na? Then only current will be there. Okay, electron transfer nahi beta. See, X-rays when pass through the gas, they do the ionization of gas. Okay, so ionization means what? Ionization में positive and negative ion separate होता है ना gas में, and due to that positive ions goes towards the negative electrode, negative ions goes towards the positive electrode, and this galvanometer will show the current. Got it? This reflected X-rays goes into the gas. Okay, then these X-rays to the ionization of the gas, and so the current will flow through the galvanometer. Okay. Then how much current will flow through the galvanometer? It will depend on how much ionization will be there. करंट पास होगा. ओके, और ये आयोनाइजेशन ज्यादा और कम कैसे होगा? कम ज्यादा आयोनाइजेशन, इट विल डिपेंड्स ऑन विच एनर्जी ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टेड एक्सरे ना. It will depend on energy of reflected X-rays. That is nothing but intensity of the reflected X-rays. 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda is the condition of maxima. Okay. So when the path difference 2d sin theta. Now for given crystal, d will be constant. In a particular crystalline solid, the distance between two successive plane, that is nothing but distance between the two adjacent atom, it remains same, it never change. That is the characteristics of that crystal. Okay, so d will remain same here in 2d sin theta. D is the constant. Okay, then in the path difference 2d sin theta, variable is what? 2 is also constant, so variable is only theta. Got it? Variable is only थीटा. सो थीटा चेंज होगा तो पाथ डिफरेंस चेंज होगा. समझ रहे हैं ना? थीटा चेंज होगा तो पाथ डिफरेंस चेंज होगा इन बिटवीन द रिफ्लेक्टेड रेज. ये रिफ्लेक्टेड रेज है. इफ थीटा इज चेंज देन पाथ डिफरेंस विल चेंज. ओके, एंड व्हेन this theta will satisfy the condition that this path difference will be integral multiple of n lambda, then only there will be the maxima. Otherwise the, and when maxima होगा तभी intensity ज्यादा होगी. Maxima means what? Point of maximum intensity. Minima means what? Point of the minimum intensity. Okay, so in the ionization chamber, the reflected X-rays, when they will have the maximum intensity, they will produce the more ionization of gas, and there will be maximum current through the galvanometer. Otherwise, when they will satisfy the minimum condition of minima, when reflected rays will satisfy condition of minima, then their intensity will be minimum and there will be less ionization of a gas in the ionization chamber, which will result into the less current through the galvanometer. Okay. So just by allowing the X-rays towards the crystal, they will get reflect and entered into the ionization chamber. Then we will see the current through the galvanometer and the glancing angle theta. If we rotate this turntable, then what will happen? X-ray direction to same hai. X-ray tube is fixed and X-rays are coming by the same direction. Okay. But when we rotate the turntable, then crystal will rotate with the turntable, and so the crystal, yes, crystal planes and the incoming X-rays, इसमें जो angle है, that is the glancing angle, it will change. Are you getting? Yes, are you getting? ओके. टर्न क्रिस्टल टर्न टेबल पे माउंट किया है, हम टर्न टेबल रोटेट करेंगे तो क्या होगा? क्रिस्टल एक्सरे का डायरेक्शन तो सेम है, तो टर्न टेबल ऐसा रोटेट किया. इफ आई रोटेट दिस टर्न टेबल इन दिस डायरेक्शन तो क्या होगा? ये जो एंगल है वो इंक्रीज होगा. इफ आई रोटेट इन दिस डायरेक्शन तो ये जो एंगल है दैट इज द ग्लांसिंग एंगल, वो चेंज होगा, डिक्रीज होगा. एंड ये एंगल क्या है? दिस इज द एंगल मेड बाय इंसिडेंट एक्सरेज विद द क्रिस्टल प्लेन. ओके. सो ये प्लेन ही रोटेट होंगे ना. या ये प्लेन हम ऐसे ऐसे रोटेट करेंगे इन दिस डायरेक्शन. इफ वी क्रिस्टल डायरेक्शन इज रिमेन सेम एंड इफ वी रोटेट दिस crystal means set of plane, so if we rotate in this direction then angle will decrease. If we rotate crystal in this direction, this theta will increase, and there will be position of rotation will come when this glancing angle will satisfy the condition of maxima, means that is the path difference. Path difference is depends on glancing angle. Okay. So for particular position of the turntable, that is of the crystal plane, this theta will satisfy the condition of maxima, means this path difference 2d sin theta will become integral multiple of whole wavelength, and there will be the maximum intensity of the reflected X-rays which goes into the ionization chamber, and so there will be more ionization of gas, and so there will be maximum current through the galvanometer. So by rotating the turntable and observing the current through the galvanometer, if we plot the graph of ionization current through the galvanometer, that is the ionization current, and the glancing angle theta. Okay. So position of the here to the turntable, there is a scale. Scale is attached to that, through which we can note down the position of the turntable, means through how much angle we are rotating the turntable. That is nothing but the glancing angle. Okay. So by rotating the turntable, we can observe the current through the galvanometer. So when current through the galvanometer will go to the maximum value, then there will be the maxima. That position, that glancing angle is the angle for which reflected X-rays satisfy the condition of maxima. Suppose it is theta 1. This is the first order maxima. Then again, further rotation of the turntable, there will come, further rotation of turntable after the first maxima, intensity will goes on decrease, and then again the particular position will come where this intensity will goes to the maximum, means current will goes to the maximum, means there came the second order maxima. After that further rotation, again intensity or ionization current will reduce, and then again at particular position it will goes to the maximum. That will shows that there will come the third order maxima. Okay. So in this way we can find out the position of maximas, first order, second order, third order. जो position पे maximum current है, that is the first order maxima. Then the current or intensity of reflected X-rays goes on decreasing as the order of diffraction or reflection goes on decreasing. Okay. So first order को maximum रहेगा, then second order को फर्स्ट से कम रहेगा, थर्ड ऑर्डर को उससे भी कम रहेगा. ओके, but with the rotation, first of all it will goes to the current will goes to the maximum, means first maximum came. After further rotation it will start to decrease and again it will goes to the maximum, means there will be the second order maximum. After that again it will reduce and then after few rotation it will goes to the maximum, but it will be less than that of the previous one. Okay, so intensity of maxima goes on decreasing as n goes on increasing, where n is the order of diffraction, first order, second order, third order. Okay, so this is the relation between glancing angle and the ionization chamber, sorry, ionization current through the galvanometer. This current is why there, that is due to the ionization of the gas. Why ionization of gas is there? Because the reflected x-rays are came into this gas which produce the ionization, and so there is a current. Mute yourself. Someone is unmute. I'm getting voice. Okay, so this is the Bragg's X-ray spectrometer and its construction and working. Okay, in the construction, one point is remain there. This when turntable is rotated through an angle theta, simultaneously ionization chamber is rotated through an angle 2 theta, double of that, and so that whatever may be the glancing angle, means whatever may be the position of turntable for any rotation, the reflected X-rays always entered into the ionization chamber. Okay, so this is the important thing. These two are connected to each other, turntable and the ionization chamber, so that when turntable rotates through an angle theta, then ionization chamber rotates through an angle 2 theta. So reflected X-rays always entered into the ionization chamber, whatever may be the glancing angle, that is position of the turntable. Okay, so there may be the question on this topic like explain the Bragg's X-ray spectrometer with its construction and working. So this is the working. With rotation of turntable, we can observe the ionization current through the galvanometer and the relation between ionization current and the glancing angle. If we plot the graph, glancing angle against the ionization current, it comes like this. Ionization current goes on decreasing as n goes on increasing. That is, theta goes on n goes on decreasing and increasing, and theta also goes on increasing. Okay, now this Bragg spectrometer is used to study the crystal structure. How it is used to study the crystal structure, that is very important, otherwise there is no use of that. Our main thing is what? We have to study the crystal structure. Okay, and this is very important device to study the crystal structure. Cubic crystal structure can be studied by this Bragg's X-ray spectrometer. So let us see how it is studied. See, determination of the crystal structure. How to determine crystal structure? By using Bragg's X-ray spectrometer. For that, suppose we have mounted the crystal on the turntable. Turntable पे crystal mount किया है. Okay, and then by rotating the turntable, if we rotate this turntable, with that we have seen this graph of the glancing angle against the ionization current is there. Okay, so this graph is for the first set of the plane. With the rotation of turntable, there will come the first set of plane, and that is the principal plane 100. Suppose this for 100 plane, the glancing angle for first order diffraction or reflection is theta 1. Then what will happen with further rotation? This again second order maxima will come, third order maxima will come, and after further rotation, we will see that intensity or current through the galvanometer, it will increase than that of the previous maxima. Okay, and that will show that there the set of next principal plane will came. Set of next principal plane is came, and that is the next principal plane is nothing but 110. Okay, for that 110 plane, there will come the first maxima for which the ionization current will be maximum than that of the this previous maxima. So that position where current is maximum than that of the previous one, that will be the first order maxima for the second set of principal planes, that is 1, 1, 0. After further rotation, there will come the maximas having intensity less than that of the first one, and then again with further rotation, intensity will goes to the maximum, and that will shows that there came the third set of principal planes, that is 1, 1, 1, and there will be that first maxima. Suppose that will be at theta 3. Okay, so let us our assumptions. We are studying the suppose crystalline solid and cubic crystal lattice is mounted on the turntable. Generally it is suppose NaCl. Okay, then suppose theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3, these are the glancing angles. Which angles? Glancing angles for first order reflection for set of principal planes 100, 110 and 111. Means देखो ये जो ग्राफ है this one, this will come, this graph it is continue again for the next two set of plane. ये यहाँ से ऐसा कंटिन्यू होगा, इसका मैक्सिमम होगा इंटेंसिटी करंट, यहाँ से यहाँ मैक्सिमम होगा, देन इट विल गोज डिक्रीज डिक्रीज डिक्रीज, फिर उसके बाद क्या होगा, अगेन इट विल गोज इंक्रीज देन दैट ऑफ द प्रीवियस वन, वो थर्ड सेट का होगा ऐसा, दिस वन दिस वन दिस वन, एंड आउट ऑफ दैट दिस ग्राफ, this first maxima of each one, suppose this angle is theta 1, similarly second का 110 का, ये 1111 sorry 100 का है theta 1, then for the second set of plane 110 first order glancing angle is theta 2, for the third set 111 first order glancing angle is theta 3. Okay, and that we can observe just by rotating the turntable and observing the current through the galvanometer. Otherwise, we cannot see the crystal structure and crystal plane, but we can observe the current through the galvanometer by rotating the turntable. Okay, now let us theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3 are the glancing angles of first order reflection for set of principal planes 100, 110 and 111. See, this is very important sentence. Huh? In your answer, it must be there. Otherwise, you will not get marks. थीटा 1, थीटा 2, थीटा 3 क्या है, ये ग्लांसिंग एंगल्स है, लेकिन कौन से, फॉर फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिफ्लेक्शन, कहाँ से, फॉर these three set of planes 100, 110 and 111. Now, if suppose lambda is the wavelength of X-rays, lambda is wavelength of X-rays, then the interplanar distance D100, D110 and D111 is given by Bragg's law. Already we have studied the Bragg's law, that is 2D sin theta is equal to n lambda. Okay. Now, interplanar spacing D will come for 111. ये 100 plane है, तो suppose D is right, D suffix 100, it will come n lambda upon 2 sin theta. यहाँ से ये इक्वेशन से ब्रैग लॉ से D क्या होगा, D will come n lambda upon 2 sin theta. Okay, so the first set of plane 100 glancing angle is theta 1, so D100 will become n lambda upon 2 sin theta 1. Similarly, for D110, it will become n lambda upon 2 sin theta 2. Theta 2 is the glancing angle for 110. Then similarly, for the third set of plane, D111 will come n lambda upon 2 sin theta 3. Theta 3 is the glancing angle for 111 plane. Okay. Now, here we have considered these are the angles for first order reflection. So, n is 1. Okay. Then n 1 ho gaya. And if we divide all these equations, if we multiply all these three equations by 2, n for first order reflection, n will become 1. And if we divide all this RHS of the equation, if we multiply RHS of equation by 2, तो ये 2 कैंसिल होगा तीनों में से, समझ रहे हैं, देन क्या होगा ये रेशो, D100 as to D110 as to D111 will become 1 upon lambda is also same, so we can cancel lambda also. N is same 1, lambda is same, so we can divide by lambda, it may get cancelled. Also 2 is same, so it can also cancel. So D100 as to D110 as to D111 will become 1 upon sin theta 1 as to 1 upon sin theta 2 as to 1 upon sin theta 3. Okay. So then by comparing this practical value results, हमने क्या कैलकुलेट किया यहाँ, इंटरप्लेनर स्पेसिंग इन अ सेट ऑफ प्लेन 100, 110 एंड 111 ये कैलकुलेट किया. एंड व्हाट इज दैट, 1 अपॉन साइन थीटा 1, 1 अपॉन साइन थीटा 2 एंड 1 अपॉन साइन थीटा 3. कैसे कैसे किया कैलकुलेट, by taking the observations of glancing angle theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3. What are they? They are the glancing angles for the first order maxima for the set of planes 100, 110 and 111. And then theoretically we have studied this interplanar spacing for 100, 110 and 111. What it came? This one. ये आता है सिंपल क्यूबिक क्रिस्टल में D100, D110 एंड D111 क्या आता है, A अपॉन रूट 2 एंड A अपॉन रूट 3. फॉर FCC में क्या आता है, A/2, A अपॉन 2 रूट 2, A अपॉन रूट 3. BCC में क्या आता है, A/2, A upon root 2, A upon 2 root 3. For the unit cell having one unit dimension, A will get cancelled. So for SCC, this ratio will come 1 as to 1 upon root 2 as to 1 upon root 3. For FCC, it will become 1 half as to 1 upon 2 root 2 as to 1 upon root 3. For BCC, it will become 1 half as to 1 upon root 2 as to 1 upon 2 root 3. Then by comparing these theoretical values with the practical values calculated here, 1 upon sin theta 1 as to 1 upon sin theta 2 as to 1 upon sin theta 3 with theoretical values, we can determine the type of the crystal structure. Means this ratio of these three interplanar spacing in these principal planes D100, D110 and 111 with the theoretical values of SCC, FCC and BCC, we can determine the type of structure. And for that, once we get this interplanar distances ratio 1 upon sin theta 1, 1 upon sin theta 2 and 1 upon sin theta 3, then we can compare this with the theoretical values of interplanar spacing for SCC, FCC and BCC. Then we came to know which type of the structure that crystal have which we are studying. ये एफसीसी है तो ये रेशो ये होगा, बीसीसी एफसीसी है तो रेशो ये होगा, बीसीसी है तो ये होगा. See, it there is not any other parameter except A. और A अगर से A तो तीनों में सेम है, so we can cancel it, then it will remain same. कोई भी क्रिस्टल है उस वो अगर एससीसी स्ट्रक्चर है उसका, so this ratio of these principal planes interplanar spacing का वो कांस्टेंट ही आएगा, 1 as to 1 upon root 2 as to 1 upon root 3. तो इसमें से कौन सा कंपेयर होता है, ये एससीसी का है या एफसीसी का है या बीसीसी का है. बीसीसी है तो ये आएगा, एफसीसी है तो ये आएगा, एससीसी है तो ये आएगा. एंड फ्रॉम दैट वी कैन डिटरमाइन द टाइप ऑफ क्रिस्टल स्ट्रक्चर. So using Bragg's law, we can determine the type of the crystal structure. See, according to exam point of view, in your exam, the question is used to ask on this topic. By Bragg's X-ray spectrometer, explain how to determine the crystal structure. So, there you are not supposed to write the construction and working of spectrometer, but you are supposed to write how to determine the crystal structure. ये लिखना जरूरी है, समझे क्या? And if the question is that explain Bragg spectrometer with its construction and working, तो आपको ये स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर के बारे में एक्सप्लेन करना है. इसका कंस्ट्रक्शन डायग्राम में जो दिखाया है वो एक्सप्लेन करो, देन हाउ इट वर्क्स वो एक्सप्लेन करो. Also with that show this graph of the observations. Okay, that is the spectrometer हो गया. But how did to use this spectrometer to determine the crystal structure? यहाँ spectrometer का construction and working explain करना जरूरी नहीं, but you have to explain how to determine the crystal structure by assuming the standard parameters, glancing angle, principal planes, and from the Bragg's law by calculating this interplanar spacing and by comparing this ratio with the theoretical value. Here also you should add this table. ये टेबल आपको ऐड करना है वहां, समझे क्या? ये टेबल आपको ऐड करना है वेयर इन द डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ क्रिस्टल स्ट्रक्चर। एक मिनट, इसको मैं यहाँ लेके आती हूँ। ये देखो, आफ्टर दिस, एक मिनट, हाँ, after this a theoretical explanation of determination of crystal structure, sorry, practical explanation, you should write this theoretical interplanar spacing in a cubic crystal lattice SCC, FCC and BCC, and then you will write by comparing the practical values with these theoretical values we can determine the type of cubic crystal lattice. Is it SCC, FCC or BCC? Okay. Any doubt? Are you clear? Yes, you can unmute now. हाँ बोलो. Yes. Are you there or not? Hello. Hello. Anyone? Hello. You are there, na? अच्छा. अभी
Yes.
now you can unmute. Okay. All of you are there, na? Okay. Now, all of you have joined the Google Classroom. Google Classroom join किया सबने? Okay. तो गूगल क्लासरूम में अब मैं ये सब पीपीटीज आपको शेयर करूंगी, ठीक है? Then you can with that PPTs and you can refer the book Engineering Physics by Gaur and Gupta या अवधानालुक क्षीरसागर. अवधानालुक क्षीरसागर देखो, it will include all the syllabus of Engineering Physics 1 as well as Engineering Physics 2 which we have to study in second sem. Okay, so if possible you can purchase it, otherwise in our library so many copies are there, you can take it, but right now it is impossible to come in college because for library procedure you should have borrow card and so on. Okay, so I think 2 to 250 cost hoga uska. If possible you can purchase it, it will be helpful to you. With this PPTs means I am giving the important points, but to understanding that topic more detail you should read more, then only you can write the correct answer. Okay. हाँ, yes. हाँ, हाँ, yes. No, no, I will not recommend that. Better than that, you may refer the by Swati Bawra या हाँ वो रेफर करो, और वो गावड़े एंड खरमाटे का भी कर सकते हो, ठीक है? ये दोनों करो, बट दैट इज लाइक अ टेक्स्ट बुक, हाँ, नॉट रेफरेंस बुक, बट take in more detail you should read the books to clear the concept, all the things regarding उसके आजू बाजू का सब पढ़ने के लिए आपको रेफरेंस बुक यूज करना है. अभी आदत डालो कि रेफरेंस बुक कैसे पढ़ना है. रेफरेंस यू विल सी दैट इट इज वेरी बिग वन, मीन्स नॉट बिग वन, इतना होगा. आपको वो बहुत बड़ा है ऐसा लगेगा, बट वो आपको सब नहीं रीड करना है, समझे क्या? आपके सिलेबस में जो टॉपिक्स है, वट एवर आई हैव स्टडीड, अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट यू जस्ट रेफर दैट. ओके, so you will get the clear idea. Try to read more and more about each and every topic. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
could you please repeat the name?
Books name.
Yes.
Engineering Physics by Avdhanaluk Shirsagar.
Okay, thanks.
Avdhanaluk Shirsagar. I think Eastern publication is there. In the university syllabus also you will see that. ओके, यूनिवर्सिटी सिलेबस तो आप वेबसाइट पे देख सकते हैं, या मैंने आपको क्लास अपने ग्रुप पे फॉरवर्ड किया है, उसमें देखो, यू विल सी दैट. ओके, और कुछ आपके डाउट्स है? हाँ, या अवदानोले एंड क्षीरसागर। एंड सेकेंड वाला वो लोकल पब्लिकेशंस के रहेंगे, लाइक अ टेक्स्ट बुक अकॉर्डिंग टू द यूनिवर्सिटी सिलेबस। स्वाति बावरा, बाय स्वाति बावरा, इंजीनियरिंग फिजिक्स 1 बाय स्वाति बावरा। और ये भी होगा इंजीनियरिंग फिजिक्स 1 बाय गावड़े, डॉक्टर गावड़े एंड खरमाटे। ठीक है, लिखा? सो हाँ, नोटबुक क्या? हाँ, नोटबुक एक्चुअली असाइनमेंट आपको लॉन्ग फुल स्केप साइज के पेपर पे लिखना है। ठीक है, एंड यू विल अपलोड दैट ऑन द गूगल क्लासरूम। Now I will send you these PPTs today, and then I will send assignment within uh, today or tomorrow. Okay. So by referring these PPTs and book, you complete the assignments. That assignment will include the subjective as well as objective question papers, because in your exam two type of questions will be there, subjective as well as objective part is there. Okay, so prepare yourself well. You have very short span for the preparing. Okay. Syllabus still there is, yes, 20, हाँ अभी तक तो ऐसा डेट आया है तो हो सकता है ना। सो रेगुलर स्टडी करो, हो जाएगा, डोंट वरी। ओके, आप एंड क्लास नोटबुक बनाना जरूरी नहीं, बट आपके लिए जरूरी है ना। एटलीस्ट वंस यू शुड राइट बिफोर द एग्जाम। Just the reading number of times is not sufficient whenever you are not writing by your own. Then otherwise you cannot write properly in a exam. एग्जाम में आपको लिखना है, तो आपको जरूरी है ना एटलीस्ट एक टाइम आप लिख दो। वैसे भी अब सॉफ्ट कॉपी तो सबका है ना। अभी ये पीपीटी तो मैं सॉफ्ट कॉपी भेजूंगी, वो आपके पास रहेगा ये। वैसे तो ऑनलाइन बुक्स भी है। फिर कुछ भी नहीं करना हमें, है ना। बट स्टडी मीन्स व्हाट? आप रीड करो, खुद के नोट्स बनाओ, दैट इज द नोटबुक ना, विच विल हेल्प यू टू स्टडी इन एग्जाम। आप दूसरों का कितना भी करो, अब 12th तक का कैसे किया स्टडी, कुछ भी नहीं लिखा, लिखा ना सब, बहुत बार लिखा होगा, खुद के नोट्स बनाए होंगे। नहीं बनाए होंगे तो भी अभी बनाओ, बिकॉज आपको प्लान करना है। कौन से टॉपिक के कौन से मॉडल के कौन से इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। लास्ट के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स देखो यूनिवर्सिटी के। अब सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन के लिए तो यू कैन रेफर दैट क्वेश्चन पेपर्स ऑफ द प्रीवियस ईयर्स एंड दैट आर अवेलेबल ऑन द यूनिवर्सिटी वेबसाइट, so you can download from there, see the questions and prepare that questions. I will give in the assignment also. तो असाइनमेंट तो आपको लिखना ही है, ठीक है, असाइनमेंट अच्छे से लिखो। इट इज एज गुड एज यूर स्टडी, समझे। उसके बाद आपका टेस्ट भी आएगा, टेस्ट के लिए भी वो यूजफुल होगा। सो यू शुड हैव एटलीस्ट मटेरियल इन योर हैंड राइटिंग। ओके, सो यू विल गेट द कॉन्फिडेंस, समझे। एंड लिसन, ऑल ऑफ यू ज्वाइन विथ योर रोल नंबर एंड नेम, समझे क्या। just minute. First I take the roll call of division A.